Hi everyone, and welcome back to another maths lesson for this week. So we are going to continue with our half thing today. So last week we looked at half of a shape. So today we're going to focus on half of an amount. So as you can see on the screen, you have some questions that I would like you to consider. Okay, so how can we find half of an amount? How many groups do we need to share our beads between? So there's lots of things that you can think about today before we begin our lesson. So before you start your lesson today, what you are going to need is some pencils, some paper, some objects if you'd like to use to represent the amounts that you are going to be halving. Okay? If you want to get them objects and things now, please stop the video. So we are going to begin today with our flashback 4 like we do every lesson. Okay, so pause the video now to solve this one. I'm going to go on to the next flashback 4 onto the next page. Okay, so once you've solved them, we are now going to continue. So we are going to begin with a slightly different problem for today. You are going to be making your own problem solving. So I would like you to colour half of the squares to represent it to show half. How many different ways could we do this? So I'm going to do one for you, and then I would like you to think about how you could do it differently. And you can colour them a lot neater than what I am doing. Okay, so I have coloured half. So half are green and half are white. How do I know that? Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 green, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 white, which means that they are equal, which means it is half, it is the same. So now please stop the video and continue solving this problem, please. You could draw them onto a piece of paper to represent the picture on the screen. So last week we were looking at finding half, okay, and we used our part-whole model, which we are very confident at using, and we started to use a little bit more of bar method, which I think you guys started to understand a lot clearer when we were doing our halving last week. So I'm going to ask you now to find half of the Lego girls. So the STEM sentence we are going to use is, there are something Lego girls. Well done. Half of is Fantastic. So if you want to solve it by yourselves first, please stop the video now. I'm going to go through this one with you to help you try and solve it. So there are something Lego girls. So that's the first clue. It's asking you how many there are all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there is 8 Lego girls. So half of, I'm going to write that 8 again because it's the total. So half of 8 is, well, I'm going to use my bar model. So I'm going to put 8 in first, 2 into my hole, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm also going to write the number 8 today, which will make it a little bit clearer for us. I am now going to share them equally into half. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So my 8 is in the middle because that was my whole. And now I have my 2 parts because we know that a part plus a part equals a whole. How do I know if it is half? Fantastic. The numbers need to be equal on both sides. So let's count and check. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is 4 in this part. Let's check if there's 4 in the other part. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is. Is 4 plus 4 8? That means my addition was correct. So half of 8 is 4. Fantastic. Well done if you got that at home. And we could do exactly the same with a part-whole model. So I had 8 Lego girls to begin with. So I'm going to put my 8 in here. And all I would have done is separate them. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as you can see, the parts are equal to 4 and 4, which is exactly the same, which means that half of 8 is 4. Now I would like you to solve this one by yourselves, please. So pause the video now, and then I will go through how you would solve it. Well done, welcome back, guys. So what was the first thing we needed to do? Fantastic, we needed to count them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 currents. So what do I need to do now? Well done, I need to write 8 after the half of. What's the next step? Fantastic, I need to add 8 into my whole. And I've added my 8 in, and I've written my number 8. What is the next step? Well done, I need to half them. So that means I need to separate them into 2 groups, because we know half is 2. Now we are going to count each part. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put 4 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 4 in the second part. So half of 8 is 4. Well done if you spotted at home. It is the same as the question before. So I kept with the same number because I wanted you to see if you could do it independently. Okay? So what you're going to do now is on Tapestry, or you could use the ones on the screen that you can see here, you are going to find half of these objects. So you could use your objects at home and represent half of them. So you might want to draw a bar model or make your own part whole models that you have used before. So some of you might have already made them when we did our activities before, so you might have some part whole models already made at home. So all of these questions are on Tapestry for you, so you can ask your mummies and daddies to go on there. And as you can see, there is stars. The stars get from 1 to 3, and that will tell you that they get harder as you go along. So you might want to pick a few different examples from the different star levels. Okay. And then your activity 2 is, if you cannot access the Tapestry and use the pictures, you could use the information here. So half of 6 is something, half of 10 is something. I would like you to continue and try and solve these using the methods that we have already just learned. The challenge is quite tricky. Okay, so don't worry if you cannot do the challenge, but the challenge is there if you want to try and challenge yourself. Maybe your mums or dads or your brothers and sisters can help you try and solve some of the challenge questions as well. Okay, so that is the end of your activities. And then finally, we have a reasoning problem at the end just to make you think. Grace says, it is different to find half of an odd number. Do you agree with Grace? Use concrete apparatus. That means use some objects to show if this is true. So I would like you to represent it and try and solve it. I don't just want to say yes, you agree, or no, you agree. I want to know why you agree. Okay? So please upload all of your fantastic work onto Tapestry for me, okay? And we look forward to seeing the fantastic work you've done on halving of amounts. Bye, you all.